Hi Leo, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, or Venus. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing your May 2020 full moon reading for you. Now, I ask if this reading resonates with you, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and also to subscribe to my channel. Now, this reading is going to span, from full moon to full moon. So that's from May 7th to June 5th. What I'm going to be doing right now is I'm going to be moving your Queen of the Moon and your Moonology cards over to the side because these will be layered on top of the tarot to really let Luna have a voice of her own, which is a very powerful way to see how the moon interacts with what the tarot is saying. All right, so let's see what the tarot has to say. How will Leo be affected by the May 2020 full moon? How will Leo be affected by the May 2020 full moon? How will Leo be affected by the May 2020 full moon? How will Leo be affected by the May 2020 full moon? Show me clearly, show me clearly, show me clearly, show me clearly. All right. So at the heart of everything, we have the Nine of Swords. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. You have the Wheel of Destiny, the Wheel of Fortune. So you have 9 going into 10. So that's really, really nice. That is really nice. You have the Moon card right here. So the Moon is going to be very powerful for you. The Knight of Swords, an air sign energy, a Gemini, a Libra, and Aquarius coming forward, but also moving forward mentally. The 10 of Swords, you're leaving something behind. You are. 8 of Pentacles, your hard work, it pays off. And you have the Hermit, which is a Virgo energy, a time frame of, a time frame of August 23rd to September 22nd. Then we have the Lovers, strong Gemini energy here. You can feel betrayed by a Gemini, yes, but also by love or the two sides of oneself, but you've also learned a heck of a lot. And then we have Judgment. Oh, goodness. And the Tower. Oh, interesting, interesting. Well, there's a part of you here, Leo, that is just like, you're done. You have this transformative, which is really cool because the full moon in Scorpio is all about transformation. It's also about compassion. And here the mind is astoundingly strong. And what you have here is you have this transformation of self and of soul and of power and of understanding. And during this time, things have been really shaken up for you from everything that's going on in the world, but also just life in general has shaken everything up. And what you are doing is you're kind of dusting yourself off and reclaiming what you want, reclaiming what you desire. And you're letting go of ideas and practices that they don't suit you anymore. There's nothing that you're getting out of them. And during this full moon, and I have the full moon set up all right here for you, you're embracing power and divine guidance. You know, you're surrendering to the divine and divinity is guiding you forward. And that is going to be kind of your ace in the hole for this time. This is going to be part of your greatest power, is you're surrendering to the divine and saying, what is it that I need? What is it that I want? And where is it that I'm heading? This leads you to the fact that this is a supermoon. This leads you to intense emotions. You're going to really be thinking things through during this time. Thinking, looking, seeing, understanding, working things out. And so here you are attracting to yourself what you are thinking about the most, what you are really focusing on. So there's a purging and then there's an attraction to what you really want. Make sure you purge away a lot of the negative, because if you don't, you're going to find that you focus on it a lot, because this is a time where you can become, everybody can become rather short-sighted with things. And so we'll really be gravitating towards the emotion that is most easily available for us. And those are usually negative emotions. If they're positive emotions for you, that's awesome. Absolutely, then indulge. But if they're negative emotions, you want to kind of pull back from being secretive, suspicious, brooding on offenses, kind of really taking things personally during this time, because you'll attract more of that to yourself. Because here, you're channeling the sacred darkness. And the sacred darkness is actually a very powerful thing to channel in order to move forward and in order to claim your power in your life. The darkness is what follows the light, or the darkness is what comes before the light, depending on how you want to see it. But there is the sense here of embracing the sacred darkness and embracing the sacred light, to move yourself forward and to claim what you want from your life. And it's actually, you're not claiming what you want, you're claiming what you need. And this can be very different than what you want. And what you're doing right now is you're really focusing on your heart, your soul, your love, and yourself. And that's why emotions run high. The full moon in Scorpio is in the planet Venus. So this is really calling to what you love, again, what you desire. And this is going to be you also blossoming, because this full moon is the flower moon. And so here you're blossoming into the beauty of yourself. You're blossoming into what you desire, what you need, what you want, the way you want to move forward in your life. And you're going to see changes coming around. And as you do so, the full moon in Scorpio says it's time to release negativity. This is a profoundly compassionate moon. And this compassion tempers us. It has us diving deeper into ourselves. And it has us seeking wisdom. Which, what is wisdom? Wisdom is knowledge, fully understood. And so here you're blossoming into everything that you have learned, and into the person that you want to be, and the passion that you want to follow. And as you blossom and you release your negativity, you are going to see that things start kind of falling into place a bit. It's not going to be easy. It's not like, oh my gosh, everything now is just hunky-dory, easy, beautiful. There's also here a void of course during this time, which a void of course is things not going the way that you had planned. And so the void of course during the Scorpio full moon is at 10:39 p.m. So at 10:39 p.m., do not be doing anything. Really kind of go to sleep or be on the couch watching a movie, doing something like that. Because during that time, even if you're just putting away clothes or you're just doing something very, which should be relaxing or what needs to be done that should be calm and quiet, it's just not going to go that way. So at 10:39 p.m., just be mindful of that time. With the new moon, you have a void of course at 4:01 a.m. So if you can be asleep during that time, again, that's the best way to deal with a void of course, in my personal opinion. Or just make sure that you are doing nothing that can go against expectations. All right, getting ready for work in the morning, or whatever it is that you are doing, make it as quiet, as simple, and as almost meditative as humanly possible. I would actually do it for the whole hour of the time. So I would do it from probably, from 3:30 to 4:30, and then for the new moon, and then for the void, of course, for the Scorpio full moon, I would do that from, okay, it's 10:39, so I would do that for the whole hour of 10 o'clock, or from 10 to 11:30 if you stay up that late. So here, with the new moon is in Taurus, and the new moon in Taurus really has you walking between the beauty of the sacred darkness and the sacred light. And this says prosperity lies ahead. You're going to be embracing your prosperity. You're going to be looking at what you desire, but you're walking between winter and summer. And those are going to be distinct differences for you, but they're going to be very powerful. You're walking between the light and the dark. You are shedding a skin that keeps you from growing. And so as you shed the skin that keeps you from growing, you are going to see yourself you're going to see yourself resonating, there we go, with the two parts of you, the benevolent part and the tyrannical part, because we all have them, and we can go to one extreme or another. And here you have new beginnings, and beginnings being called as prosperity lies ahead. So there's a new road that you're taking, because you really are, here, for you, Leo, shedding a skin, shedding an old skin is absolutely the most profound part of this moon. And looking at things not as completely black or white, but as the myriads of gray that bring depth and dimension into our world. And that's going to be something that's beautiful for you. That can also be something that is astoundingly overwhelming. Now, the full moon in June is in Sagittarius, and it says, look at the big picture. You're going to be looking at the big picture, but we're going to be very drawn during this time to extremes. Now, the full moon in Sagittarius is traditionally called the strawberry moon. If you look in the almanac, that is what it's called. Here it's called the hot moon. So it says here extremes. We will be drawn to extremes. Heat, life is heating up. But you're also going to see that life is becoming sweet, because traditionally the old European name for this moon was the honeyed moon, or the mead moon. But there's also the full rose moon is another name for it. And I think names are important for things, to see how different people see it. And so here with the full rose moon, it's just really calling on the fact that the color rose is very important for this full moon and for the new moon. The color green is important for the full moon in Scorpio. But I really see here a rose quartz being highly beneficial for you. Grounding, stabilizing. If you can keep that in your pocket, or or have it around you like a paperweight, or just a little tiny stone of it, that would be, I see you getting a lot of benefit out of it, even if it's just something you can worry in your hand while you're thinking over something. It's going to be a grounding, stabilizing force that really has your emotions focusing more on love than on chaos. The totem animals for this time are the beaver and the elk spirit. Now, the beaver and the elk spirit, now here I have an antelope spirit because I don't have an elk in my deck, but they're a beautiful combination because beavers represent ingenuity, persistence, and achievement. It's like, I have a task and I'm going to get it done. And you're very, very good at channeling the beaver energy, Leo. And it says here you're laying a solid foundation. And that's what you're doing. You are really taking away and taking out everything that is chaotic, overwhelming, that is, well, you're not taking that out so much as you're seeing the weaknesses. I'm just seeing, okay, in Disney, you know the Snow White movie where the seven dwarfs, one of the dwarfs is pounding on the diamonds and seeing what they sound like. And he's throwing away the ones that don't sound right, that don't have the right chord to them. That's what you're doing. You're throwing away what no longer resonates with you, and you're keeping the pure, beautiful diamonds that are strong and bountiful. And that's what you're laying your foundation with. And as you do so, you're embracing the elk spirit, which is strength and stamina, endurance, and patience in your relationship. So here, in your relationships. So here, life is speeding up. Yes, because you're being really serious about things. Not that you weren't before, but things are very serious right now. And you're looking at them and you're saying, I want the compassion in my life. I want the healing. I want to move forward and to transform, because this is a very transformative moon also. And what you are transforming towards is the growing into the you that you were put on this earth to be, is claiming your personal power. And you might say, well, what the heck do you mean, Dane? Growing into the you that you're supposed to be. I mean, that sounds like very nice. And it is what you are supposed to be doing. It is what makes your heart happy. Now, this might not be your job. Sometimes a job is just a job. It pays the bills, and that's that. But it's having something in your life that brings you joy, that has you, as Joseph Campbell would say, following your bliss. And with that following your bliss, it does not mean you're happy of every moment of every day. It means that you let joy guide you, that you let yourself say, all right, life isn't just about work and responsibilities, though those are main components of existence. It's also about smiling, laughing, having fun. And I need that in my life, because in the month of June, the totem animals for June are the deer spirit and the eagle spirit, which seem very contrasting, which is actually going to be very good because we have that kind of pendulum swing in June, which shows us that life has its extremes. And we also have the extremes here in Scorpio. So here with the deer, it says, bring a gentle touch. And the eagle says, spirit has your back. Now, the deer is being gentle and bringing gentility into your life. But it's not being defenseless. Because first of all, you can't abide being defenseless, Leo. You have strength and you call strength to you. It is being gentle and firm within your beliefs. It is being strong and brave when needed, but not feeling as if you always have to have a fight. It's kind of like, I will stand my ground when I need to, but I will choose my battles wisely because I do not have energy to waste. And then as you do so, you're bringing a natural beauty into your life and a degree of innocence, a degree of wonder and joy. The eagle spirit here, which has spirit having your back is you connecting with the divine, since the eagle flies the highest of any animal. And what's also beautiful is that the only animals that are better sight hunters than human beings are birds of prey. So you have an animal right here that can hunt better than you, that can see better than you, and that can fly freer than you. That's what has your back. Something of astounding brilliance, beauty, and power. And as you are flying high like this eagle, or embracing the heights that this eagle embraces, you have freedom and courage, moving you forward, calling to you, and the importance of and the impact of honesty and thoughtfulness guiding you forward. So it's really a gorgeous combination. And I'm very excited for those totem animals. And they're going to be calling to you during this time. They are. With the Nine of Swords, you have a lot of worry. You have a lot of worry. You have a lot going on in your mind here. Absolutely. It's like, am I doing the right thing? Am I not doing the right thing? Am I moving forward the right way? How have I messed everything up? Have I messed everything up? And then you have judgment. You have your angels having your back. The worry, the doubt, the fear. You might feel that all during this time. And I know you're going to sit there and be like, oh, thanks, Dane. But, I mean, forewarned is forearmed, right? You can tell yourself, get out of my own head. Let's move forward. Let's get this done, which is a really good way of looking at it. Because the Nine of Swords is obsessing. It is obsessing. And you can't even be obsessing, am I on the right path? Am I moving forward the way that my angels want me to? And there's so much chatter in your head, as there's so much chatter in everybody's head, that we forget to listen. Listening is so important. And here at your heart, you're being told to listen to your angels, to listen to your spirit guides, to listen to divinity and the divinity that lives inside of you. Because as you listen, you start to move from fear into power. You start to have the power to embrace the chaos, because life is chaos, and to move forward in passion, in dedication, in determination. Because you have this resurrection of self. You have this stepping into your truth, claiming your worth, knowing where you stand and what you stand for. Not all the time. It's not every moment of every day is going to be laser focus, but it's saying, this is who I am. This is who I want to be, and this is who I need to be. And following your angelic truth to that. And as you do so, you have the Wheel of Fortune here. You have the 9, at your heart, you know you're coming to a completion of a cycle. You have the doubts, the fears that you'll ever get there. You have the questioning, the seeking, the looking, the restless nights, the keeping yourself up late, all right? That's also going to be something you have to be mindful of. Because as much as you can focus on the passions and the joys and the contentment of life during the Scorpio full moon, you can also very easily focus on the jealousies, the betrayals, the hurts, the fears, the hate, which these are words we're not supposed to have. We're only supposed to be happy, wonderful people who see life through a filtered lens and who are recorded through a filter lens. That's not life. That's not us. We are chaos and we are beauty. We are the greatest evil that ever happened in history, and we are the greatest good. That all lives inside of us. And it's overwhelming, it's terrifying, but it's necessary to know, because that's where your strength comes from. And Leo, that's where your strength comes from. You are strength, dedication, compassion, love, understanding, stubbornness, and ferocity. That's what you are. And the Wheel of Fortune is saying that you doubt that you can move forward, but life is changing whether you want it to or not. And you will feel at times as if you're on a roller coaster ride. You'll have these angelic highs and these devastating lows. You'll have these lefts and these rights, and you'll think, where am I heading? What am I working towards? What do I want? The Wheel of Fortune focuses you. You are focused by it. And as you're moving forward, you're seeing so much more than you imagined. But you're also along for the ride. And it's helping you to see what you really want. It's also helping you lighten your load. And say, okay, well, if I'm on this wild ride, I don't want to take everything with me. I'm going to kind of boil it down to what's necessary. And as you boil it down to what's necessary, as you see the changes coming in, and as you see yourself embracing the changes that you want within your life, you are embraced by love. So there can be this love-hate relationship with a Gemini during this time, most definitely, right? This is also the time period of May 21st to June 20th. It might be difficult. It might be just a very changing, malleable time for you. A little bit chaotic, but also profound. Because the lovers is the love that we want to embrace within our life, within our soul, within ourselves. It's the love that we call to. And it's a duality of our own nature. It can be that life is changing and you're moving towards love and passion. And the lovers calls to that love and that passion, that beauty, that prosperity, that bounty. And as you move forward in this truth, you see what it is that you want. And you also see what it is that you're never going to tolerate again. You call love into your life, and love answers you. Be ready to answer its call. Be ready to hear it answering you too. Because it's not going to be exactly the way that you had envisioned, because you have been through so much change, and you are going through so much change. And as you see this, now what's really cool here is that at your heart is a 9, right? You're crowned by a 10, you're rooted by a 10. You are crowned and rooted by completions of cycles. At your heart, you still feel like you're going through it. And you're still going through it. You're still working things out. You're still coming to conclusions, gaining understandings, looking at things more deeply. With the 10 of Swords, you hold a fortune in your back. What does that mean? When I look at the 10 of Swords, I was like, oh my gosh, this is overkill. It's like, what the heck is this? Now I look at it, and the more I'm starting to look, the 10 of Swords, for me, is wealth through pain. And you might sit there and say, how do you get that? Okay, not too long ago, after a battle was done, you would search through the battlefield. You would claim any weapons, right? And you would take what was yours, what you had earned from this battle. You have 10 swords in a person's back. That is overkill to the extreme, right? The only thing I can think of that is more overkill if you were killed like Caesar, right? Who had what was he stabbed 58 times? And that's because everybody hated him. But I see this as a decade of knowledge. Stabbed 1 year in the back. Okay, main lesson. Another year in the back, main lesson. For 10 years, you endured before you transformed. And that can be how life is. Who you are when you're 10 is not who you are when you're 20. Who you are when you're 20 is not who you are when you're 30. Who you are when you're 30 is not who you are when you're 40, and so on, and so forth, and so forth. So here with the 10 of Swords, it's seeing that transformation from decades. It's seeing, yourself brought down to rise again. And it's claiming the wounds that have hurt, but that have forced us to grow. And as you claim it, Leo, as you claim these wounds that have forced you to grow, you hold power over the tower. This is change. This is ready or not. And divinity really doesn't care if you're not ready. Here it comes. You will be changing. And the change is not what you expected, not what you wanted, not what you planned for, but it's what's needed. And you transform, and you change, and you build, and you grow, and you are because of it. And now you are so much more than you ever thought possible. And there are going to be changing aspects in this time. There is going to be a sense of surrender to transformation, which the tower goes from being a standing structure to a structure that is falling. And so it is a transformation. And through this transformation, you will be brought to your knees. At times, most definitely. But you will be seeing that you have this tenacity, this dedication, this power to you that is astounding. And it will astound you. It will astound you, your ability to rise. This leads you to the 8 of Pentacles. I mean, your hard work, Leo, it pays off. It just pays off. And you are creating an archway, a beginning, a walkway between the divine and the sacred darkness and the sacred and divine light. You are creating an archway that you walk between, that you embrace them both, that you see that you are both benevolent ruler and tyrannical overlord. And as you see this, you see what you've been working towards, what you want, what you desire, where you need to be. And it leads you to the Knight of Swords. You're cutting through doubts and fears. You are moving forward. Again, strong air sign energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Very strong Gemini in this reading. You need to move forward. Questioning, seeking, understanding, cutting through doubts and fears, knowing your mind, knowing what it is that you want. It moves you to judgment, to a connection with your angels, a resurrection of self after things have fallen. This is a powerful moon for you. A transformative, beautiful moon, but a moon that you might find at times to be overwhelming. The Hermit. During this moon, you're going to feel it rather easy to just kind of like pull back, connect with yourself. You might be coming out of a hermit time, which absolutely makes sense with everything that's gone on with the world and, quarantines and all that lot. So here it can be, yes, you're coming out of a hermit time. But this is also going to be a moon for you where you're really rather introspective. You feel everything to the 9th degree, which is overwhelming in and of itself, but can be very overwhelming for you at times. So here you're moving forward, you're seeing, you're focusing on what you desire, and you're looking at what you want. And why it would be more difficult for you at times, here, Leo, is because you like questions and solutions. You like solving problems. And this isn't going to be a problem that is easily solved. It's going to be something that you riddle over. And as you turn inward, that's also it. As you turn inward, you see everything that you kind of haven't wanted to see. This is the repeat of the number 9, repeat of the number 10. It's like there's a need to look at it. There's a need to look at it to bring forth the change that comes. And as you see it, you slay the demons of your past. Not all at once. It might take years. It really can. But you start to slay the demons of your past. You start to say, this does not have the hold over me that it once did. And it will not have the hold over me. And so you take things, you take scars, you take hurts, you take pains, you take disappointments that have stayed with you. If they stay with you for over a year, or if they stay with you even for over a half a year, they're scars. They are emotional scars. And you look at them and say, why am I carrying you with me? Do I need these scars? Do I need these swords still in my back? And as you pull them out, as you take them away from you, as you remove them from you, the Tower comes, the change comes. And it moves you to the moon. The moon is a Pisces energy, a time frame of February 19th to March 20th. Pisces can achieve absolutely anything, as can all the zodiac signs. Their one thing is to move past fear. Just like Geminis can achieve absolutely anything. Their one thing is to move past caring what everybody else thinks over themselves. Virgo can achieve absolutely anything. They have to stop and hear their voice first. And as you see this, look at this. This is a line, of all major arcana cards. You have the Hermit, you have the Moon, you have Judgment, and you have the Lovers, or Lovers and the Judgment, however you want to do it. So here you have the Hermit. You're called inward. The Moon has you facing your fears. This moon is going to have you facing fears, doubts, apprehensions, but also seeing your beauty, your power, the extent, the breadth, and the depth of you. It's going to have you looking at what you desire and what you do not want in your life. And it's going to have you standing tall at times where you would rather fall down. And as you do this, you bring a level of compassionate understanding to your soul and to yourself that is astounding, absolutely stunning. It brings you to what you love. It brings you to your lover. And it can be the love of your life within yourself. It doesn't have to be another person. And it can also be the love of your angels as you move forward, as you connect, as you understand. Your angels raise you high. So let's see how the moon interacts with you. How will Leo be affected by the May 2020 full moon? How will Leo be affected by the May 2020 full moon? Show me clearly, show me clearly, show me clearly, show me clearly. All right. Yeah. How will Leo be affected by the May 2020 full moon? How will Leo be affected by the May 2020 full moon? How will Leo be affected by the May 2020 full moon? Show me clearly, show me clearly, show me clearly. Strong Sagittarian energy here. A strong Scorpio energy. Strong Taurus energy. Okay, so this is an astoundingly powerful moon for you. It brings forth change. You're going to try and stop it, and that's why there's the fear, the doubt, the apprehensions, the sense of being kept up at night, worrying. There's a sense of being afraid of the change that's coming, being afraid of the unknown, and that is something that's going to be faced. It really is. And so whether you want to face this or not, it is coming towards you, and it is going to be leading you towards a very transformative time. And it has you have the fears right here at your heart. And then you have the new moon in Scorpio, which you work through your fears with your angels. This is fantastic if you like to keep an angel journal, or if you like to talk to your angels, or just starting to talk to your angels. You will see that you work through your fears so much faster. But if you don't want to, prayer, meditation, things like that, that will be very beneficial for you. But you're working through your fears, and you are seeing where it is that you want to stand and what it is that you stand for. And as you work through your fears, and you have that strong Scorpio pull where you can't abide lying, you need to look at the grays of things, right? It moves you to self-reflection, which leads you to change, which leads you to doing a 180 within your life, which leads you to seeing what it is that you truly want and where it is that you're truly heading. And as you do so, the full moon in Pisces, which you have strong also Pisces energy here, is you balancing the spiritual with the practical. And that could be the two sides of the lovers coming in. The one side of your heart, which is spiritual, the other side that is practical. The power and depth of your emotions and what you need, emotionally and practically. Kind of finding the harmony within it. Your rooted message here, the message at your roots, is resilience. You're a heck of a lot stronger than you think you are. You're going to sit there and be like, oh, I'm not that great. Okay, I'm not that strong. And like, oh yeah. Oh yeah, Scorpio. Oh yeah, Scorpio. Oh yeah, Leo. You are. You're channeling the Scorpio moon, and it brings such tremendous strength to you. And as it calls on this tremendous strength, as you put down the world tree that you're carrying, as you release, the pain that you've been carrying with you, as you embrace the end of the cycle, it has the full moon in Taurus guiding you forward. Your dreams need a practical plan. And that's what's falling apart here. The impracticality of what you wanted, and now you're sitting there and saying, okay, well, I need to look at it, and I need to be more serious, more focused. Or you're letting things fall apart and saying, now I need a practical plan, because I can't hold on to the reality that I didn't want in the beginning, or to begin with. This leads you to self-love. This leads you to being free. This leads you to understanding, and this leads you to an archway of prosperity, to moving forward in overarching prosperity. Embracing what you love, what you desire, what you need for yourself. You know that conclusions are within reach, and you're willing to fight for them. You have very clear thoughts, a very clear vision of what is needed, of what you want. You're cutting through doubts and fears, and you're knowing what is needed and what you desire. You do. This is a time of action, but also do not act rashly. Okay, Leo, that's going to be very important. This leads you to working through your fears, because you know that you can reach your conclusions. And this leads to your dreams having a practical plan, because they need to. Your will is astoundingly strong. And as you turn inward, you realize the full power of your will, of what you want, of what you need. and of the way that you are moving forward. The new moon in Sagittarius says that luck is on your side as you face your fears and as you embrace your heart's love and your heart's truth. This leads you to a balancing of the spiritual and the practical, because you need both in your life. And this leads you to working through your fears. Your subconscious message for this time is the fact that adjustments are required. You need to adjust the way that you're looking at things. And you will be during this moon, most definitely. And as you do these adjustments, you start to see things so much more clearly, which leads you to trust. To trusting that you're being taken care of, to trusting in the evolution of it all and the evolution of yourself. And your subconscious message for this whole entire reading is the Four of Swords. You've been through a war. It's time to rest. It's time to take care of yourself, to embrace your heart, to look at what you love, and to say, look how far I've come, and look how much I've achieved. And be honest with that. Not only looking at the negative, but how, for some of you Leos, you've pulled yourself up by the bootstraps, and you've created a new life for you. Be proud of that. Don't be haunted by your past. Move forward and be proud of where you stand now. All right, Leo. I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I am sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. Be safe and have a blessed moon. I love you all. Bye.